there's a message in the chat box. I'm just going to put it again. So when we have events or meetings, it's usually good to go in with an expectation so that you're not just going to sit down for 2 hours and stand up. And then when somebody says, it's like when they say, how was church today? You're like, oh, it was really good. And they're like, oh, what did you learn? They're like, so it's really good to, okay, I want to get X, Y, Z from this meeting so that at the end, when they say, okay, how did you spend your Saturday evening? Like, I attended a session on finance. Okay, what did you learn? They're like, oh, I learned A, I learned B, I learned C. This way you are able to go away with something. I have my notepad here. I hope you have yours too, so that you can take notes and come out of this session with, it's not you've paid some money, that you've invested money to get the knowledge. It's not a, how do I say it? It's not like a course. It's a course. It's a mini course. So we are going to try to help ourselves to get out with enough information from this mini course so that we won't have wasted our time. Okay. Yay, hi everyone. I think we can start now. We're 11 in the room. It's perfectly fine to start. Hello everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Marriage and Money, Managing Personal Finance. I'm excited to have you here. I am your host for today. My name is Osemudiame Enaholo, but you can call me Ose if Osemudiame is difficult for you to pronounce. So we'll just get right into it. We're going to start with introductions. First and foremost, I would like to start the introductions with introducing the platform that has brought us all together, Marriage Worthy Network. Yay! So if you're a member of Marriage Worthy Network, just drop an emoji or something in the group so that we know ourselves. We can like say hey to ourselves, like thumbs up, a smiley emoji or something, so that we know, okay, this person is part of the family. Well, the Marriage Worthy Network is a community of believers. God gave these emojis entering my eye. So Married Worthy Network is a community of Christians who are willing to grow into the largeness of marriage. Like marriage is a ministry, marriage is commitment, marriage is hard work. Unfortunately, in the past few years, romance movies and novels have painted it like, oh, you meet a girl, a guy meets girl, somebody swept off their feet, or someone hits somebody, books fall down, and then love starts, and then they live happily ever after. But for those of us that live in the real world, we know that that's not how it is. Like marriage takes work. It's hard work. It's commitment. It is dedication. There's a lot that goes into it. So yeah, Marriage Worthy Network is a community of Christians who are willing to grow into the gladness of marriage. The mission is very simple: to raise marriage-worthy men and women, birth and sustain marriages that give God glory, and to divorce-proof our marriages. So there's room for singles, there's room for intending couples, and there's room for married people. It's not just it's a body that welcomes everybody. Like I said, my name is Osemudiame. I work with an international organization that's committed to I work with an international organization that's committed to reducing malnutrition and improving food systems across several countries of the world. I've worked in development since 2015, and public health has always been my focus. The topic is marriage and money, managing personal finance. As I was preparing for this session, I came across a quote that I feel is very, very interesting. This quote is by David Asperger, and he's the author of The Meaning of Money in Finance. He said, the handling of finances is one of the major emotional battlegrounds of any marriage. Now, those words are not small words. He says the handling of finances is the major emotional battlegrounds of any marriage. Lack of finances is seldom the issue. The root problem seems to be an unrealistic and immature view of money. I found that quote really important because I feel if they say what is the objective or what are we trying to get out of this meeting, I would say that it's to deal with being immature when it comes to handling money. So I found this quote really good. And one thing that interested me about the quote was that it's not even lack of finances that is the issue. It's just the fact that some people are not well taught. They've not been well taught about money. And that is really good that we are here today so that we can learn about money. Now, we know the problem. We know that there's a possible solution. Now, let's go into who is going to lead us closer to the solution, who is going to throw light into these financial problems that might come when money is involved in marriage. So that brings me to introducing Miss Ayo. Ayo Akinshola, also known as the Money Woman, is a financial consultant with banking experience and over a decade of experience in business, finance, and investment sector. She's a graduate, or she graduated with distinction from School of Banking, Lagos State, and she obtained her bachelor's degree in banking and finance from the University of Abuja. She's currently processing her master's degree in financial economics, also from the University of Abuja. She's a member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers and the Association of Certified Chartered Accountants. Ayomide is the Managing Director of Financial Solutions Limited and Financial Sensation for Kids. The Financial Sensation brand is a financial advisory and investment outfit aimed at growing both personal and corporate finances and providing comprehensive and practical financial education to individuals, entrepreneurs, organizations. She has facilitated sessions for top organizations like Julius Berger. She's highly knowledgeable in risk identification and management, portfolio and management, general accounting, payroll, monitoring and evaluation of financial reports, amongst others. A regular on various TV shows where she discusses a wide range of finance-related issues. Ayomide is a fine blogger in her own right. She writes about implementing innovative financial and accounting practices and procedures to personal financial efficiency. So yes, that's the profile. When I was reading, I'm like, oh, wow. There's so much that is in store for us today. And I hope that there's a question for us in the chat box, just to know what our expectations for the program is. So if you can just type what your expectations for today, what are you expecting to get from today's session, so that we can hold ourselves accountable. So yes, who is going to go first? Like, just share with us briefly what are your expectations for today's session. I can go first. Okay, Ozioma said practical wisdom about money management as a single and in marriage. Okay, thank you, Ozi. Mine is to learn about financial literacy. Is there any other person that's willing to share with us what they are looking to get from today's session? Okay, maybe people are shy. It's fine. It's fine to be shy as long as you're taking to know how to manage my finances. Thank you so much, Alatunle, for sharing. So we have 3 people that we are going to be asking at the end of today. Did you, all these things that you outlined, did the events meet your expectations? So have you been able to learn how to manage your finances? At the end of the program, we'll come back to us, because like I said at the beginning, we're going to be holding ourselves accountable. So the session, the introduction session, and I would like to welcome Ms. Ayo to take over the stage.
All right, thank you very much, Ma. I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, Ma, we can hear you. Oh, Ayo, one moment, please. Please, if you have any questions, please, you can drop your questions on the chat box, and I will blame them, and at the end share with Ayo. She has been gracious enough to say you can ask her questions. So feel free, don't interrupt the session, just drop your questions in the chat box, and at the end of the session we will bring them. Thank you so much, Ayo. Good to have you.
All right. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be here this evening. Thank you to the Marriage Worthy Network, and congratulations to everybody here. If you're here, you're on the right platform, you're with the right people, you're in the right place. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ose. I don't know if I pronounced it. Thank you for the warm introduction. Yeah, so I don't know, is there a way I can share my screen with you? Do I have the permission to?
I think you can share your screen.
So managing personal finance, I just want to quickly talk to us about managing finance as an individual, mostly singles, and I'm sure if you're married, so you would get a few tips from this session. Then I'm sure by tomorrow, there'll be a full session for the married people. So yes, managing personal finances for single people, for individuals, for everybody in general is what I'll be talking on today. And the aim of the session, what I intend to achieve this evening is to help, number one is to help all participants understand the concept of personal finance, how to develop an appropriate mindset about your finances, how to manage your finances as an individual, and of course to know if you're financially healthy. So we'll just go straight. Ignore all the plenty English. What is personal finance? Just as it implies, personal finance, it naturally means your own personal finance, how you take care of your money, how you determine your earnings, how you manage what you earn, how you spend, how you save, how you invest, how you do whatever you want to do with your money is basically what personal finance is about. It's about the management of your finances to achieve your financial goals. So it involves determining your income, your expenses. When I mean fixed and recurrent, I mean expenses like your rent, your car maintenance, your transportation, allowances, your food, data bundles, utility bills. I'm sure everybody here is paying bills. So how you manage all of this is what entails your personal finance. How all of this is done is what we mean by your personal finance. And I'll go to financial goal. Financial goals are basically what you intend to do or your goal financially. Now, a whole lot of us start the new year with new year resolutions, what you want to do, you want to be this, you want to be that. But most people skip the financial goal aspect. The only thing you hear them say is, yeah, 2023, I want to be financially stable. I want to be financially this, I want to be financially that. However, those are not financial goals. Financial goals basically mean you write them down. Okay, so this is what I want to do. By the end of the year, I want to have $100 million in assets, $50 million in cash, liquid cash. I want to have about 10 million $10 million saved in across all my bank accounts. I want to have 10 million naira in stock. So these are what financial goals. Forgive the big figures, but that's those are what financial goals are. It entails what you want to achieve over a period of time financially. Your financial goal could be I want to settle all debts that I owe. This year 2023, I want to settle, probably you carried over like 100,000 naira debt from last year, and then one of your financial goals is to ensure that you settle all your debts before probably mid-year or by the end of the year. Probably you want to be paying 10,000 naira per month or something. So that could be a financial goal. Your financial goal could mean by the end of the year you want to buy a car worth so and so amounts, because a car is just vague. A car could be a limo. Probably what you have in your mind is a Mercedes Benz, probably a C350 or an E350 or an ML350 or a GL350. However, it has a very small financial goal. So right now, one of the take home we're going to have today is setting your financial goals, just in case you don't have one yet. For some of us, we already have what we want to do financially for the year. Okay, so that. For giving, this year, I intend to give 1 million naira in charity. So it's a financial goal. So you don't stop. The reason for financial goals is that you don't stumble upon all of these expenses as the year runs out. It's not if you're married, it's not time to pay school fees and then you're shocked or you're surprised or you're looking for how to sort it out, because it should be in your financial goal for the year. Oh, there are three academic terms if you have children in secondary school in a year. So you plan for how you intend to pay this school fees. If you're a student, okay, this is what I want to do in a year. If you're working already, okay, so these are what I want to do this year financially. So as you're making your new year resolution, not to do this, to do that, to preparation for growth and all of that, you should also make financial goal one of the things you should do, or you should make plans for the new year. And it could be for a month. It doesn't necessarily have to be for a stretch for as far as a year. You could have a financial goal for the month. If you're the type that you lose focus easily, you could have a financial goal for a week. Like, okay, this week I'm going to spend exactly 3,000 naira on junks. I don't want to spend more than 3,000 naira on junks. So it could be a week, it could be a month, it could be 3 months, 6 months, a year, as much as you can plan for. You can actually break your financial plan down to your financial goal, rather. You could break it into short-term goals, mid-term goals, long-term goal. Your long-term is probably 5 to 10 years. You could say, okay, so in the next 5 to 10 years, I want to have $1 billion in assets to my name. Now, you're going to break it down to midterm goals rather. So in the next 2 to 3 years, this is that is what I would do. In the next 1 to 2 years, which is your short-term goals, that is what I want to do. So these are financial goals that you have to plan. And it's not so difficult. It's not something that is so difficult. All you need to do is pick up a paper and a pen, or a jotter or a journal or something, and just scribble it down as it comes to you. So what financial goals are not? A financial goal is not a prayer point. Now, I understand the place of faith. I'm a Christian, I'm a believer as well. I believe in faith. I have faith. I'm very faith. If there's a word like that, I'm a faithful person. However, a financial goal is not a prayer point. When I mean it's not a prayer point, when setting financial goals, you don't. I believe I'm going to have $1 billion. I believe, and I'm definitely going to work towards it. However, I can't be earning 100,000 naira monthly, and my financial goal will be to have $1 billion in the next 6 months. It's either I'm planning to do money ritual, or I'm planning to steal it. I understand God can happen. Yes, God can happen. But if God is going to happen, God will not place $1 billion right into your account all of a sudden, because God knows that CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria, will flag your account and they will call you in for questioning. So this is how it works. A financial goal is not a prayer point. It's not, when you're writing your goals, ensure to be realistic as possible. Don't put your goals down in a way that you deep down you know that this thing is not possible. You cannot be earning 500,000 naira monthly and your financial goal is to own an airport in 3 months. That is not possible. So that's what I mean. Financial goal is not a prayer point. It's not what you want your finances to look like. It's what you want to achieve in a particular time, over a particular period of time. Financial goals are not static. It doesn't have to be the same thing over and over again. 2020, your financial goal was to make 1 million naira, and thankfully to God, you made 1 million naira. 2021, your financial goal should not be to make the same 1 million naira. That's the idea of having goals. The idea of having goals is so that you can actually improve on them. And that's why we encourage you to write down your goals, so that of course you can always go back to it, and it gives room for reference. You go back to it and you're like, okay, so this is what I wrote, and this is what I want to achieve. So financial goals are not static. They vary from time to time. Your financial goal while you are a single lady, just a minute, please. Your financial goal while you're a single lady should not be the same as when you intend, or as when you get married, or when you intend to get married. I don't know if you can still hear me. Please, can I get a...
Yes, you can.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you. Okay, so... All right, so financial goals are not static. They should vary. While as a single person, your financial goals should not be the same as when you're married. So your financial goal as a single person should not be the same as when you're married. You shouldn't be the same as... Sorry. It shouldn't be the same as when you're married. Your financial goal will not be the same as when you start having children. So that's the way it works. It's either you revolve, or it's either you're increasing your financial goals or you're reducing it. There's really no crime in reducing your financial goals. Situation happens, things happen. Probably you had a job, your financial goal was this. The moment for example, you're out of job, definitely you cannot be aiming for so high again. You have to beat it down a bit. Reducing your financial goals does not make you less of a Christian. It doesn't make you less of yourself. It just means you're trying to work with what you have. Financial goals are just working. Financial goal is more of the present, using your present to determine your future. So financial goals are not wishes. They are not what you wish to do. They are not what you wish to have. Like I said earlier, I want to, or let me say, currently I wish I had three private jets to myself, so that I can have one flying me here, have one flying me to the Asian countries, I have one flying me to the European countries. I have one flying me around Africa. Yeah, it's a wish. However, that is not a financial goal. The moment I put it down and I begin to work towards it, then it becomes a financial goal, meaning my income has to increase. I have to go for me to own 3 private jets, I have to go from what I'm earning currently to a little bit higher so that I can achieve that. If I want to have 3 private jets as a financial goal, it will definitely be like, if I'm going to be sincere, to be like a 5 to 10 years financial goal for me based on my current earnings. So those are the things financial goals are not. So let's go to what financial goals are. Of course, we are all familiar with the SMART principles: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound. Financial goals are specific. Now, when you're writing your financial goals, don't go with, I want to make money in year 2023. I want to make money in year 2023 is very vague. It sounds like anything anybody can write. But why not put a figure to it? I want to make 100 million naira in the year 2023. That is a financial goal. It is very specific. It's measurable. It's achievable. Now, when you say it's achievable, it means if you're planning to make 100 million naira in the year 2023, it means your earning is already in the 6 to 7 figures. You can't be earning 25,000 naira monthly and your financial goal is to make 100 million naira at the end of the year. Except in the middle of the year, you are expecting a change of job. Even though you are expecting a change of job, or you're expecting one miracle money, you have to wait till the money comes, because it would, having 100 million naira goal with a 25,000 naira salary is bound to give you unnecessary pressure. That's when the pressure, like we said, the pressure begins to mount on you. You begin to feel you're not good enough. You begin to feel like you're not doing enough. And apparently you are in your own capacity. But the goals you're setting are not achievable. They are not realistic. They are not realistic. So ensure that your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound. Yes, put a time limit to it. This is the way I set my own goals. So from January to December, that's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. From January to June, that's like the first 6 months of the year. From January to June, this is what I want to achieve. This is the plan. So I plan for 6 months, because the idea is by the end of 6 months, my earnings are increasing. My earnings will not remain, my earning in January will not be the same as my earning in August. So that's the idea. So as soon as my earnings increase, I set another financial goal. So by June, July, I'm already achieving. And when I cannot achieve, I tend to carry over. If there's anything like that, it's okay for you to carry over some of your goals from the previous year to the other year. You can carry over your goals from one year to the other. So if you are not able to achieve, if you're not able to achieve your goal one time, if you're not able to achieve the goal, please ensure that it is very okay for you to carry it over. It's not it doesn't make you a failure. Even Nigeria, I mean, we have SDG goals, we have all of these goals, but we have not really achieved most of them. So it's okay for you to carry over your goals. It's okay for you to carry them over to the next phase of your life. So I don't know if we can just signify in the chat that we are still with me and we can still hear me clearly. Okay, we can hear me clearly. Thank you for that. All right, so let's go to our money mindset. While we talked about the aim, we mentioned how to develop an appropriate mindset about our finances. So let's talk about our money mindsets. And here, I think I would like us to use the chat box a lot while we are on this session. So let's talk about what money lessons did I observe and hear as a child. Whether we like it or not, a lot of us picked our money mindsets right from when we were small. We picked it from the environment and the family with which we grew up in. So what financial lessons did you observe and hear as a child? What is one financial decision your parents made that you want to follow in their footsteps? What is one financial decision your parents made that you would like to change? So these are questions that would determine, what kind of mindset or money mindset you have. Personally, I don't know. I think financial decisions my parents made, there are some of them, maybe some here that I would like to follow, but I am very sure there are a whole lot that I do not want to follow. I mean, there were some things that I saw my parents did that I definitely don't want to do. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who has or who have that feeling. So money mindsets are beliefs and attitude towards money. Money mindsets are beliefs and attitude towards money. It's the way we think about money. People have, when I talk to people sometimes and I hear their mindset about money and finances, sometimes I feel like, where did these people grow up? However, I just realized these are personal beliefs and attitude. Like some of them formed from right when we were small. Some we formed it as a result of the situation we found ourselves. Some were formed as a result of sakpa. Permits me to use the word. So it's our general attitude towards money. That's what money mindset is about. And maybe after explaining this, some of us will understand why we act the way we act. Because you realize there are some people who, I have some people that, they have this, if I perish, I perish mindset. When they have money, they spend it. Irrespective, they don't want to know if there's another one coming. If they are hungry and they feel like eating something and they have the money, they will buy it. They don't care whether some people don't even think about the future. According to them, the future will sort itself out. The future would, some people have this general mindset that they like to owe. They believe in borrowing. They believe you cannot have enough money to borrow. And then they are the ones that will tell you, even the country is owing. So who am I not to owe? They are the ones that would confidently and conveniently borrow money from anybody. And someone just says something was killing man, let me eat this one first. Exactly. People have different mindsets towards money. It varies. I know you have some people that they can be very hungry, but you see that money that is in their hands, they will not spend it. They will hold on to this money. In this time of when we had a little bit of cash crunch and we didn't have cash, everybody was having issues with cash. I still had people who were having cash on a constant. These were people who had kept money in their house. Like it was as if they were preparing this. It was as if they saw it coming. It was as if they saw the fact that cash can. These are people who are always having cash in their hands. These are people who always, keep money with them and they don't like spending. For someone like me now, I don't like debit alert. I don't know if I'm the only one. Debit alert, there's something debit alert does to me. Immediately I see debit alert, my heart skips because I feel like money has left this account though. So immediately there's a debit alert, what comes to my head is credit alert though. Let's credit alert enter. Someone said the financial mindset that formed on me while growing up with my parents was savings and investments, making money, managing money, multiplying money. Good. You are very lucky to grow up in such an environment where your parents they were very intentional about savings. Some of us, the most important thing that what mattered most to our parents was that there's food in the house, school fees is paid, rent is paid. I mean, who cared about savings? Now, person who don't chop benefit they save. That was their mindset. Like if you have to have plenty to save. So what their main issue, what bothered them the most, they were just was that the children we ate, rent was paid, school fees was paid, and maybe we got Christmas clothes and all of that. Mine was if a need comes up, God will provide. Since we have like similar parents, I mean, if we come home and we're like, oh, mommy, we need money for this, she just asks you when. Before then, God will provide. That was we had. Our mothers were very, very faith, as in they were very strong in faith then. So whether it was faith, whether it was just them being who they were, God will provide. Oh, hey, that was just it. So we had a lot of different money scripts, money mindsets growing up. So these are the things that actually formed our general attitude towards money, the general attitude money right now. These are the things that formed it. Okay. All right. So factors that affect our mindsets about money. So we have family, habits, environment, exposure, education, financial literacy, and beliefs. So these are factors that actually affect our mindsets about money. So let's just quickly go through it one by one. Hey, Holy Spirit. Let's just quickly go through it one by one. So family, before we enter, let's get one thing clear. Nothing is your parents' fault. They only did what they could do in their best of knowledge. They did what they knew how to do. So you don't get to blame your parents for your lack of money or for whatever is happening with your finances at the moment. They did what they could. They did what they got from their own parents as well, or what they also formed while growing up. Now it's up to you to actually form yours. So yeah, family is a thing, is one of the factors that affect your money mindset. But let's be it at the back of our mind that nothing is our parents' fault. So the way your parents talked about money or didn't talk about it certainly shaped your attitude towards money from a young age, because more is caught than taught. So for some of us, we didn't even know anything. Some of us had parents that they didn't allow us know anything about money in the house. Your own is just collect money, go to school. When you need money, you didn't know. Some of us didn't know how much our parents were earning or what they were even doing, how they were going about it. For some of us, we knew exactly how much. In fact, I knew my mom's salary up until the last couple, because now all of us they spend the money together. So I knew when they pay our salary. So the moment the date is coming close, you see all of us were excited at least when mommy is being paid. Something, now mom is, even if it is biscuit or the regular, something that is not regular, rather than maybe rice and stew and fish that we have been eating, we know that when salary comes, maybe to change to chicken, even if it's just that first week of salary, chicken will appear. So we're anticipating the date. So some of us, we knew the day our parents collected salary. We knew how much our dad was earning. So for some of us, those were the things that were forming our money scripts gradually. For some people, you don't even know anything about your parents' finances. You just, from the way your house is, you assume you are rich or you are poor or you're in the middle class. The way we say it here in Nigeria, the average class. You just assume that okay, so we have TV, we have DSTV, we have, for some of us, growing up, what we used, our assessment for wealth was the fact that your dad had a car. So the fact that your dad had a car meant you're rich. So for some of us didn't even know it was a company car, and that if your dad leaves that job, they're going to collect the car from him. So for some of us, we didn't even know that you were living in a company apartment, meaning if he loses the job, you're out of apartment or you're out of shelter. So these were things that formed so for growing up, you will not be so fast to disclose your finances if you had grown up in a house where nobody talks about money, nobody talks about those kind of things. You won't be so quick to disclose your financials to anybody, even your own children, and probably even to your spouse. Or growing up, you saw your mom hide money from your father. You know that this woman has, or you see her appear like she doesn't have money, or you even know the corner of the wardrobe or the corner in the kitchen where she keeps the money. Indirectly, when you get married too, you tend to hide money from your spouse. You tend to, like I said in the caption when I posted this on my status, according to statistics, after infidelity, money is the second leading cause of divorce in the world. So if you ask some people, I read, all of these stories. I read this story. In fact, I read one recently this evening on Money Africa, where this lady is about to get married, and according to her, she and her fiance, they earn almost the same amount, and they're get an apartment. They're both relocating, like job and everything. So they want to get an apartment. So the apartment she likes, he likes, it's way above his budget because he's the one that wants to pay for the apartment. So she feels like she should add money and help him out in the payment of the rent. Probably just add, probably he has 150 and the apartment is, she wants to add 50. That immediately she does, she would have to, she's introducing splitting of bills, which a woman, an African woman, should not. African women do not split bills with their partners, blah, blah, blah. And this lady has land in Ibadan, though they want to live in Lagos. So the mom is advising her that rather than give this man the money, a fiance, not just a regular man, somebody she's preparing to get married to. I'm sure they have done something on her head already. So the mom is insisting she gives the money, she uses the money to invest rather than help him out. As much as investment is a very good thing, she felt like rather than invest, she should help this guy out. And so she's asking for help and all. Obviously she knows what she's going to do. She's just coming online, but so these are money scripts. The mom probably believes that my money is my money. My husband's money is our money, which is like a belief that a lot of us had growing up. A lot of us, I'm sure there are some of us here that's still our belief. We still have it there that my money is my, well, I know we are on the Marriage Body Network, and Mrs. Esther, Chancellor Esther would have, done very great justice to those kind of mentality and all. However, family would determine your money mindset. It has formed. That lady, if she enters her husband's house, she will definitely keep money away from him because that is what she has seen her mom do. So it comes natural. It will come naturally to her. She doesn't need to struggle too much. It would naturally come to her that this is the way it has been done in my house and this is the way I want it done. So those are things that affect our money mindsets as individuals. So we go to habits. So whether they were picked at an early age or as you were growing up, habits will always find a way to influence the decisions you make about money. So I'm just going to run through because our time is way, 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 way fast spent. So habits also affect our money mindset. So like for some of you or for some of us, we say there's one thing I usually use anytime I used it when I spoke to some pre-retirees. They were about the staffs in Julius Berger when they were about to retire. Most of them are male. Julius Berger, I think it was just recently they started employing female staff. So I told them, I said the three B's, the three B's that would kill them in retirement, that would finish their retirement money is babes, booze, that's alcohol, and some of us, there are these habits that would always find a way. If you are the type that you bet, you gamble a lot, you would always be a borrower because you're always having this mindset that this next one is going to be your breakthrough. This next, bets that you are very confident that Liverpool cannot beat Man U. So you have borrowed money to place the bets, and then Liverpool shocks you and give Man U 7-0. So these are habits that would definitely influence. If you're a gambler, you tend to borrow. It's like it comes naturally. It comes naturally. If you have an addiction, if you're an addict, you tend to borrow because you need to keep up. So habits also find a way to affect your money mindset. The environment and surrounding you find yourself in will play a part in how your money mindset. Oh, stray bullet on my club. So sorry if you're a Man U fan. I didn't mean it, but that 7-0 was it was like a blow. All right, so the environment and surrounding you find yourself in will play a part in how your money mindset is formed. The behavior and mindset of the people around you can rub off on you and influence the money mindset you form. So that's why they said the rich become friends with the rich. The poor remain friends with the poor. You know why the rich would always guard their circles? Because they don't want anybody coming into their circle to tell them this cannot happen or this will not be possible. So that's why, we keep saying it. let your circle be a circle that would always, make you strive to be better. You cannot have a mindset of wanting to have $500 million in 6 months, and you're friends with somebody that believes that life is hard. You're friends with somebody that believes that Nigeria is finished. We have some people that they have zero faith in the country. They believe that you cannot make it in this country. If you are going to make it, you have to leave the country. They believe that the moment they announced the current the APC candidate as the winner of the election, some people gave up on the country totally because they felt like it's over, we are finished, we are done. So you cannot want to make it if you are the one that you don't plan to relocate yet. You cannot want to make it and then be rolling with people of such. So your environment and surrounding will also play a part in how your mindset is formed. That's why some people try to send their children to private universities, private schools, not because they have the money, but they just want their children to mingle with people that have sense. Permit me to use the word, people that think outside the box. They think ahead. They're not people that are still thinking that government work is what is going to liberate them, or they're not people who are thinking that the moment they get a job in a bank, they have made it in life. So you need to guard your circle. Your previous circle would have affected it, but your current circle now is what probably when you were small you couldn't determine. Of course, you couldn't determine the school you went to, and probably your parents sent you to a very local school. Some of us that attended federal universities, but we're still able to, like, even in the federal university, there were some people that you rode with, and there are some people that that this one is not going to get you anywhere. So I don't know if you understand what I mean. So people send their children to private universities not because they can afford it, but because they feel like this child, or if he goes here, the connect, if we get the connect, do this, do this. So these are your environment would play a large role, Holy Spirit, in influencing your money mindset. So let's go to your exposure. The personal experiences you had with money is quite significant to how your money mindset is formed. Now, if you are the type that has been duped before, as when I mean duped, I don't mean somebody collected, I mean duped, like of your entire life savings. Imagine those people who were victims of the very popular MMM, Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes, and all of that. MMM was a pyramid. It wasn't a Ponzi scheme. It was a pyramid scheme. So imagine people who were victims of MMM. Now, somebody lost, like, let's say 5 million naira to MMM. No matter how legit you want to tell me that what's this thing they do now? Affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is a legit business. No matter how legit you want to tell me affiliate market is, you cannot take affiliate market to that person and the person will listen to you. As far as the person is concerned, anything that has to do with bringing money and getting people to sign up, and anything that has to do with you have to bring one person to get two people to bring, it's like a trigger for the person. The person doesn't want to hear any business idea that has to do with people management, or you have to bring one person to. There's nothing you want to say that the person is going to listen to. So exposure is going to be, if it's somebody that has lost money to probably a real estate fraud, before you can take real estate business to that person, probably you are going to have to submit your grandmother's birth certificate. You are going to, before the person can believe that truly what you're giving to him is legit. So your personal experiences, if you are the type that you have been victims of all of these Ponzi schemes, you tend to pass over money opportunities, even though they might seem legit. You just tend to pass. Somebody tells you, come and invest in this, that. It just sends a trigger, like, anything investment, let me just be seeing my money. I hear people say, I just want to be seeing my money. I'm like, you cannot just be seeing your money. You have to allow this money work. But because of their personal experiences and their past experiences with money, they just, in fact, some people will tell you, I don't even want to put it in the bank. I just want to be seeing the money like this so that at least I know that, yes, this is my money. So experiences, exposure with money in the past is also going to affect your money mindset as an individual. Education. Okay, so literates and illiterates tend to see life differently. And this applies to money as well. Education plays a significant role in how your money mindsets are formed. I was having a discussion yesterday with a colleague, and we're talking about education. I was trying to motivate him to go and start his master's. So he said, that he just is discouraged because he feels like, it's not just it's not about masters, it's not about money, it's about what you know. Like, I understand. People from the east have made us believe that, they just believe that it's business. You don't education. But some of them now, even while they are now growing up, are going back to school just to, even if it's just to get the degree, not that they have the intention to use it. Because whether we agree or not, education is important. School is not a scam. School is only a scam to people that did not learn, that refuse to learn. Okay, school is not a scam. School is supposed to be a learning institute. So you learn. The moment you are not learning is when you tend to call it a scam. So education plays a significant role in how our money mindsets are formed. I need to quickly run through financial literacy, which is like one of the reasons we are here. The knowledge of finance and money will play a great role in the mindset you have towards money. Being properly educated financially will have a positive impact on your mindset towards money. Why not being educated will have a negative impact? So what's financial literacy? Is simply having the understanding of basic financial terms and how they work. So to talk about financial literacy. So our beliefs also affect our money mindsets. Beliefs are what drives your attitude. Your philosophy in life could be a reason you have that mindset about money. Your attitude towards life in general. If you are a sadist, if you're a pessimistic person, your attitude towards money, that's the same way. You believe that, pessimistic people believe that once this money comes, they don't believe that another one will come. So they are those people that spend money. You have money. Well, yeah, now. And the thing about being cheap is that you get to spend more. The moment you start doing cheap, like you just want to be, you are finding every means to cut costs. Sometimes you end up spending more. Okay, go for dental checkup. It's not necessary. It's just wasting of money. Until something happens to your teeth and they have to do a surgical extraction. Now, in that case, dental checkup would have cost you probably, if you have an HMO or even without an HMO, would have cost you probably 15,000 max, depending on this. Go to a general hospital where you spend less. However, if you're going to do surgical extraction, you're already spending way over 100,000 naira if you're doing it in a private hospital. So being cheap sometimes, ask yourself, are you a pessimistic person or are you in a relationship with one? Okay, so being cheap sometimes would actually make you spend more. It will make you spend more. You have decided to buy because you want to be cheap. You saw a TV that different 40K, and because you just want to be you just want to be cheap, you just want to cut costs. At the end of the day, you use the TV for 3 months, and then you are putting it in channels, it's showing you AIT, or you are putting it in AIT, you are connecting to your DSTV. You are seeing you're saying something else. So these are what your philosophy in life. So what are the philosophies you have to in life? Those are things that might or will definitely affect your mindset towards money. Okay, exactly. Thank you. I have a very intelligent audience. All right, so types of money mindsets. We have just two: the scarcity mindset and the abundance mindset. So the scarcity mindset, with the illustration, It's believing that there is never enough. The belief that nothing is enough. You are the type that every time, I don't have enough time. Oh, yeah, they always praying to God to give you 25 hours in a day because you feel like 24 hours is not enough. Money is never enough. You don't have your anthem is I don't have. That's always your anthem. Before they say Ayomide Kiniko, I don't have should people know that I'm a civil servant. Me, I cannot. We are doing this. I don't have should people know I'm a civil servant. People know that I'm working with a private. Private companies don't pay much. This, that. Your anthem is always you don't have. There is never enough money. Never people. Do this. Me, I don't have friends. So what do you have? You don't have friends. This one, I don't have. Okay, we are contributing for this. I don't have. You are not always having, and they're always complaining of the fact that there's no opportunity. You hear them say, everything you have to know somebody in this country. So these people that they just believe that nothing is enough, nothing can go wrong, nothing can ever be there. They cannot have anything. They hardly focus on anything. They are too obsessed with lack. And that thing you focus on, it's what you focus on that you become. So they are too obsessed with lack. Everything that runs through their head is lack. Everything it affects the way they see things. It affects their perspective to life. It just affects them generally. So you need to now start thinking, so what kind of mindset do I have? Is it the scarcity mindset or the abundance mindset? This is believing that there is enough to go around, understanding the fact that there will always be money and opportunities to benefit. There's something I usually write mostly on my status. I say, okay, money has not left the earth. There's still money in this country. In fact, the earth is very big. Money has not left Nigeria. A lot of people are escaping. They are running out of the country. They want to jackpot. It's a good thing. I have a lot of family and friends outside the country and they are doing well. However, you need to have the mindset that wherever you are, you will thrive. Wherever you are, you will thrive. Whether you're in Nigeria, or you're in Cameroon, or you're in the United Kingdom, or in the United States of America, or you are in Australia, or you're in Finland, or you're in anywhere you are, the mindset you should always have is you will definitely thrive. So that's where the abundance mindset comes from. Understanding the fact that there will always be money. Millionaires are emerging daily, so why can't you be one? You open your phone. Which social media app is the most intimidating app? I used to think it was Instagram, but I think now it's LinkedIn. LinkedIn seems to be very. You just enter, then you see I'm a 17-year-old with something, blah blah. I'm like, God, 17-year-old. I was still looking for admission. I was in school then. I was still asking for 2K. You begin to have this feeling that, hey God, what was I doing with my life when I was 17 years old? Oh yeah, wherever I am, I will thrive. I like that. Yeah. I like that confession. Yeah, make it a confession whoever is the president, whoever is the governor, whatever the situation, you will thrive. That's the abundance mindset. LinkedIn is not for the weak. I tell you. I went there recently and I saw a 17-year-old telling us she's now making 6 figures. My internet is unstable. Please confirm you can still hear me. Okay, so I see a 17-year-old telling us she's making 6 figures. And what's she doing? I think copywriting copywriting. That she's what did she say she does? She closes deals and I'm like, hey God. So I look at my age and I look at a 17-year-old who claims she's making 6 figures, and it seems like, what are you doing with your life? Okay, thank you. You can still hear me. And it's like, what are you still doing with your life? So, millionaires are emerging daily. You just need to I can always enter into the market and take my own share. The money will go around though. The wealth will go around for whoever is willing to thrive in the market. So the mindset you should have is, so what value am I going to create to tap into this wealth that is everywhere? People are recently, Dangote said how much he earns, where we got the statistics of how much Dangote earns per day. One time, Mark Zuckerberg said, I think he mentioned if maybe probably $5 or $100, how much dollar falls from his wallet. If he goes down to pick it up, is losing more than even while he doesn't pick it up, because the money he makes per minute or per second is enough for him. Like going down to pick that money is like wasting of time for him. And I'm like, okay, so people are making money. So what value are you going to create? That's abundance mindset is, so what do I do to get this money from the people? There's money everywhere. So what do I do to get a share, to get my own share from the market, from this wealth? Because wealth is everywhere. So what can I do to get my own share? So that's what the abundance mindset is about. So what's time? Wow, managing your finances as an individual. Wow, managing your finances as an individual. Okay, I wanted to use as a single person, but I don't know. Some of us are engaged, and I don't want to spray pepper in. 15 more minutes, all right, thank you. So, and I don't want to spray pepper in the single people's eyes. So I decided to use managing your finances as an individual. So if you are still single, it's like managing your finances as a single person. If you're not single as an individual, but I mean, we're all still single now. It's either you're single, you're married, you're divorced, or you're widowed. So yeah, so single people, I'm sorry, but we want to talk about managing your finances as a single person or as an individual. Yeah, so getting your personal finances right. Getting your personal finances right. Getting your personal finances right. Alrighty. Okay, so financial planning, take responsibility, build an emergency fund. Okay, so this is a bit broad. So this, I managed to, trust me, getting your personal finances right is very broad. Like it's going to take like another, let me say, 3 sessions, 2 hours each, if you want to finish getting your personal finances right. So let me just quickly run through it. Any message from you? You finally sprayed the pepper. Yes, in your face. Okay, so let me see. Let's see how fast we can go with it. So financial planning is a deliberate process for achieving one's goals and objectives in life. A financial plan serves as a roadmap for your financial future. In summary, it assists you in maintaining control over your earnings, your expenses, and investments so that you may manage your finances well and accomplish your goals and objectives. I think this is self-explanatory. Financial plan is one of it's one of my favorite things to do for some of my clients. Most times financial plan, it's always tailored to individual needs. So the financial plan I'm doing for Mrs. Esther will be different from the financial plan I'll be doing for let me say Agnes Akpan or Catherine or Damilola. So financial plan is always tailored to individual needs. Same thing with organizations. When we are doing financial analysis for businesses and organizations, my financial analysis for a catering service will be different from a real estate firm, will be different from a technology hub, will be different from a consultancy firm. So financial plan varies. It's you who's going to determine how you want to. It's just basically, we talked about financial goals. So financial plan is basically the process to which you want to achieve those financial goals. You remember we wrote financial goals earlier. So your financial plan is the process or how you intend to achieve those goals. So one part of financial plan, Mrs. Esther requested that I talk about savings and investment. So one part of financial planning is savings. I don't know if you've read The Psychology of Money. It's a very good book I can recommend to anybody who loves to read about finances or about money. So there's something I got out of it. It says Savings is the edge against life's inevitable ability to surprise the hell out of you at the worst possible moments. Now, something down. I said the money you save now will save you in the future. We all know what savings is. Savings is simply putting aside a certain percentage of your income or of your earning for the future. Savings is basically the money you keep for the future. Now, the money you save now will save you in the future. So that's like, I don't want to go too deep, but savings is, I cannot overemphasize saving. Saving is you don't have to earn so much to save. I know if you're waiting to have enough to save, trust me, you will not save. I said something like, na person wey don chop belle full na im dey save. That's a very, 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 very backward statement, because my dear, if you don't save, you will still not be able to chop that belly full. So savings is very, very important. You need to inculcate the habit of savings, even if it is okay. Like, there's something I told the pre-retirees then. I said, okay, so you still have some of them still have a year, few months till retirement. I said, so let's try something. Try saving 1,000 naira per day, because most of you guys you spend more than 1,000 naira to eat. For some people here, you spend as much as 3,000-4,000 naira per day to eat. So imagine saving 1,000 naira per day for a year. At the end of the year, you have 365,000. If it's a leap year, 366,000. So you have 365,000 naira free money, because you won't feel it, especially if you're earning daily or you're earning more, even if it's monthly. Calculate 1,000 naira per month. That's 365,000 naira free money at the end of the year, which you can now decide, wow, you will not be part of those people who do dirty December and suffer the 118 days in January. You already have money set aside for contingencies like that. So savings cannot be overemphasized. It is very important that we save. I'm really, really running out of time, but it is very, very important that we save as little as 200 naira per day, as little as 5,000 naira per month. Even if you're earning 10,000 naira in a month, if your monthly salary is 10,000 naira, even if it is 8,000 naira, if you can't save when you're earning 10,000 naira, trust me, when you begin to earn 1,000,000 naira, it will still be difficult to save, because the more you earn, the more your expenses, the more your salary increases, the more your lifestyle increases. It comes naturally. It's just like it's a natural this thing. It's you that's going to have to be intentional about. Okay, this one that my salary has increased. Don't let me go from Chicken Republic food to okay, so here in Abuja, let me see which expensive, from Chicken Republic to something like Metro Cafe. I think their food is quite pricey here. So because you're not earning more, you decide to go from the place. Normally, you have been eating the place's food and you have been okay, but now you feel like the place is no longer the place for you. So you feel like the place is no longer the place where you want to move to. Okay, so in Lagos, well, expensive, but you decide you want to start doing Chinese restaurants every weekend. So sometimes it comes naturally. So savings is something that is an habit you should inculcate, whether you're earning more or you're earning less, no matter how much you're earning. Even if you're not earning yet, even if it is gifts, you get somebody dashes you 5K. Try to, all right, thank you, Mrs. Esther. So somebody dashes you 5K, Mrs. Ose, thank you. You can take out, even if it's 1,000 naira or 500 naira, and save. If you know that you cannot have an account that doesn't have an ATM, that you cannot do bank colo. If you know all this one that I'm saying will not work for you, buy colo. How much is colo? 500, or just even if it's just 500 today, 500. All of this money. I mean, the last time I broke my colo, it was at the point where I desperately needed money. There was something I did, and my money was being tied up somewhere, and I needed money. So the colo, I just said, I've had this colo for a few months now. Let me even just break it, since I was shocked at the money. I think I counted almost about 70 something thousand out of it. It was like free money for me because for all those times I'd been putting the money, it wasn't like it was something very difficult. It was just 500, 1,000, 500, 1,000, 500, 1,000, 500, 1,000. And then I was able to get free 70,000 naira. Like I was able to use it to at least augment what I needed money for. So that's usually how it works. Savings is very, very important. Do not underestimate the power of savings. The money you save now will save you in the future. So let's go to investment. So savings and investment, they are like topics that like a full session topic. So I really do not want to go too deep into it. Maybe Mrs. Esther can organize another session for that. So investments, like talking about investments, now the way Nigerians are very skeptical about investment, because even Ponzi schemes now, they call it investment. Pyramid schemes, they call it investment. Advanced fee schemes, I'm already mentioning types of money scam. But all of these schemes, they are all called investments. That's what they call them. They come to you in form of investment. So investment has been largely abused. The term investment has been largely abused. But what is investment? Probably if you have an understanding of what investment is, you will stop falling into all of these schemes. Some of them come so legit, they are packaged so well. They package it so well that it looks like, oh, this is it. This is where I'm going to be a billionaire. And then it ends up being a scam. So yeah, investment is simply putting money, effort, or time into something and expecting returns. We have personal investments. They tell you, oh, invest in yourself. That's personal development. You could invest in people. You could invest in like the investment our parents did on us. Some of our parents, they were sending us to school. At the back of their mind, it was more like an investment, so that when you finish school, you begin to work, and then of course you pay back returns to them. Some of them did it out of their free, their goodwill of us, but some of them are expecting that now that you're working, you should be sending them a particular thing or a particular amount monthly. That's their returns on their investments. It's not like they are being difficult. Some of them saw us as investors. Some of them saw us especially the ones that they send to private university. When you know that, retirement plan. Some of us are parents' retirement plan because they don't even have any other plan. So you knew that your parents were not so boxed up, and they sent you to private university. You should have known that it was an investment, because they felt like, let them just put everything, because the returns it was a long-term investment, and now that you're working, you need to start paying back dividends, their ROI. They need to start receiving their ROIs and all. So investment being a part of your financial plan means putting in your savings or a lump of money into purchasing an asset or securities with expectations on getting returns on it over time. So like I said, investment is a full-blown session talking about why you invest, before you invest, what to do before you invest, what are the things you should invest in as a single person. I won't go deep into that, but let me just quickly talk about what when it says purchasing an asset or security with the expectations of getting returns. So assets could mean a machinery. Securities could actually, when you talk about purchasing securities, we could talk about stock, talk about shares, talk about bonds, treasury bills, federal government bonds, real estate, agriculture, investing in agriculture, investing in real estate, investing in crypto. If your mind can carry it, investing in crypto, forex, and all of those things. So these are different types of investments you could actually do. Shares, stocks. Buying stocks is a bit on the we have high risk investment, we have low risk investment. So depending on your age, when people come to me and tell me, oh, I want to invest, what can I invest in? The first thing I ask them is, so your risk appetite, your age, your income. So how much are you currently earning? You can't be earning 20,000 naira monthly and you want to invest in real estate properties, the only real estate you can invest in is real estate, that's REIT, real estate investment funds or real estate investment trusts, REIT or REIF. So it means like it's like 100 people contributing money to buy a 200 million naira property. So and then when it is sold, for probably 300 million, all of us now share the profit. So that's what I mean by REIF or REIT. Excuse me. So then you could invest in agriculture. So before investment, you need to I try to ask for your age. A 60-year-old man should have nothing to do with crypto. No, but thank you. A 60-year-old man should have nothing to do with crypto because crypto has every tendency to give you IBP. Crypto has every tendency to give you IBP. So if you know that, even if you're not old, if you know you are the type that, I don't know if I can, I think I have to say this in Yoruba, your Emi did not be like Emi Ogbe, you know the way crypto is now. Stay away from crypto. So those are the things that we ask, those are the things we assess before recommending any type of investment to anybody. The aim of investing is not to double your money. The aim of investing is to grow your money. Okay, so we talked about financial planning, take responsibility now. So own your decisions, admit your mistakes, and take responsibility for your actions always. It gives room for improvement and growth. You know, some people, you are still blaming your current financial mess to the fact that somebody collected your 1 million naira 16 years ago, or somebody collected your 1 million 5 years ago. You're still basing the fact that the reason you're telling us that you tell anybody that cares to listen to you that the reason you don't have money now is because your parents are poor, or because your parents did not send you to good school, or because this is that. Hello, it's time to take responsibility. Own your decisions, admit your mistakes. The fact that I'm a financial analyst, as much as I analyze financial data, I can always tell you, I can confidently tell you that I've also made financial mistakes. I've made wrong investment decisions. Like after all the due diligence, I did due diligence. I overdid due diligence. I did everything. Dotted my I's, crossed all my T's, and did everything. Phew. Crash, no, like, so mistakes happen. It happens to anybody. People lose money, even like the rich guys up there, they lose money. There's nobody will tell you that they don't lose money. So the most important thing is I wouldn't dwell on the fact that, will I now sit back and say, when somebody comes to meet me like, oh, and this is that, and I'll be like, the fact that I lost money sometimes. I still have, like, there was this share, the name is very hard to pronounce. Oh, sorry about that. The name is very hard to pronounce. Nigeria has done this. The name is very hard to pronounce, but it's a share that I recommended to somebody. So I recommended this share to the person, and I did not buy it. I just recommended it. I did the due diligence, did everything, and then I checked the shares, like, I think on Thursday, on Friday, and guess what? It had gone up 60%, 60 point something percent, which was like, imagine you put in 100,000 and in 1 week, I was going to cry because I felt like every intention, right? So it was like everything mean there are no other stock amount of time. These same shares, there's like a high probability that probably in another 1 week it will go down a bit. All right, so take responsibility, own your decisions, admit your mistakes, take responsibility for all of your actions. Yeah. So the last one, build an emergency fund. So emergency fund is the money set aside for unforeseen circumstances or situations. It's best saved up in the bank where it can be easily liquidated. Emergency funds is for situations like medical bills, accidents, natural disaster, etc. So when we talk about emergency funds, it's just that money that you keep aside for in case anything happens. Anything can happen. Anything at all can happen. When COVID happened, we were not expecting it. It was, if you didn't have any money saved up, the people who didn't have money saved up were the ones who took the larger brunt of COVID-19. A lot of them saw shaky. They had to rely on grants. They had to rely on hands down from the government. They had to rely on family and friends and all of that. So emergency fund, that's what emergency fund is for. It's just usually I recommend 6 to 8 months of your expenses. Meaning, calculate how much you will spend in 6 months if you're not working. You should be able to have money saved up for times like that. So that's what emergency fund. Now, there's a difference between emergency fund and savings. Savings is for the future. You can actually have a plan for savings. Emergency fund is that money you have. When you give birth, it's not an emergency because you had 9 months to prepare. So putting to bed, hospital bills is not an emergency. However, in that scenario, the doctor suddenly telling you they have to do CS can be an emergency. Probably you plan for a natural delivery and then they come up and tell you, oh, it's going to be a CS. So you don't go running helter-skelter for money and then you're going around telling everybody, oh, I want to do CS, so if you should help me, give me 10,000. So you can dig into your emergency fund. You start building your emergency fund from right now before your wedding is not an emergency because you are planning for it. So don't use your emergency fund for your wedding. Don't use your emergency funds for your wedding. So start building your emergency fund from now. However, for some of us that are not married, let me link savings to emergency fund now. There's something you can do for yourself now before you get married. How about you start, except you are, some of us have the opinion that I will not, we have declared in the beginning of the year, I will not save to get married. Money will come to me. Yeah, it's a good thing. However, you could have funds. People have funds for different things. People have funds for different things. People have funds for marriage, funds for children. You're ready. You can start saving for your children now. You can build a fund for your children now, even though you're not married. You can have a fund for your marriage, so that when the time to get married come, you're just doing transfer. Why? They want to buy this one, because you know that you set aside this money for marriage. You just be doing transfer. It will be easy to come easy. That stress that comes with the bride to be or the groom to be, like, it's because most times it's because there's no money. Most times the reason why people are stressed out before weddings is because there's no money. If there's money to kind of ease things, I'm not saying to take away the stress completely, but it will ease things a lot for you. So try to save ahead of your marriage, ahead of any event that is coming. You know that you're going to have children in the future. Build a fund for your children now. You know you are going to get married. Build a fund for it. You know you want to get your master's. Build a fund for it. You want to get your PhD. Build a fund for it. You can start building a fund for. Have a fund, even if it is 1,000 naira you're putting in it. This month you put 1,000 naira in your marriage fund. You put 1,000 naira for your children. Even if you have to collapse everything to do one thing, at least you know that you have money set aside, and then you keep your emergency fund too. It's very important. Natural disaster can happen. God forbid, but we're in a country we are very lucky. What happens or tomorrow now, a foreigner comes into the country and brings in another variant of one other disease, and then the government have to lock us all up and tell us, so there's a lockdown. So how do you survive? For some of us now, if the government announces a lockdown starting from Monday, how do you intend to survive? Do you even have extra money that you're going to spend? Pending when you can access funds. What happens if all banks decide banks will not close in Jesus' name, because that's why we are keeping the money. But what happens when something happens and you cannot go to work? And you cannot walk, no movement, nothing. You just have to do transfer, their delivery, the way it was during COVID. So what happens when something like that happens? Do you have an emergency fund to keep you afloat? The fact that you're single does not mean lack does not know single people. Banks should not close. Amen. They will not close in Jesus' name. So are you financially healthy? This is a question we'll have to answer after all this our discussion. It's now a question that you might have to answer personally. Some of us have to think about it, whether you're financially healthy or not. Now, the stages of financial health, this is the only thing I'm going to show us. I will not go deep into it because financial health is another session to on its own. It's like a full-blown session. So the stages in financial health is accumulation of wealth, management of wealth, preservation of wealth, transfer of wealth. For some of us, we are still in stage one. We are still accumulating this wealth. We never reach to manage, but still accumulating. Some of us are already managing wealth. I mean, I can see some billionaires on this platform. So I'm seeing some billionaires. So some of us are already managing wealth. Some of us are already preserving it. And some we have even started transferring to the next generation. I mean, some of us, your children already, in fact, you have money for the next 4 generations already on ground. So that's where transfer of wealth gets to. So what stage are you in your financial health? Are you financially healthy? When we talk about being financially healthy, it means how are your finances? Are you doing well, or you're still living from mouth to mouth? Do you still have to borrow to survive? Do you have savings? Do you have investment? Do you have an emergency fund? Some of us, your financial health is just headaches, just small headache. Like that small headache means maybe you're just owing somebody 20,000. Some of us is migraine, serious migraine. For some is malaria. You have financial malaria. For some, it's financial typhoid. For some, it's financial cancer. You're at the point where you need serious help with your finances. So check yourself. Go for a finance? This was like more like a financial checkup, but it was just more like telling you if you have this is this, if you have this is this. Now it's now up to you to go and do a full diagnosis, meaning you have to see a financial coach or a financial analyst to now help you. Because I was just being general. So now we have to talk about, if you're going to see a financial coach, you're going to have to discuss your earnings, your income, your debts, your this, your that, all of those things. So are you financially healthy? Check out your financial health. Take this weekend to actually sit down, check your financial health, check where you are going, because you know that deep down at this point you are going. For the next 1 year, you are still going to have to, at the end of the year, what are you going to have to show forth with your finances? Or are you going to follow the crowd to say the country was hard? This year was shiggy 2020, because the year is going fast, and before you know it, now by December we start hearing 2023 showed me shiggy. The same way we said 2022 showed us shiggy, 2023 will be a good year. Now 2023 has come. Now we start hearing 2023 showed me shiggy, 2024 should be a good year. So you need to check your financial health today, which is, I think, one of the main reasons why this program was created. So, are you financially healthy? This is where I'm going to leave us with this evening before I take questions. So, like I said, these are the stages of financial health. I think if you want the slides, I can send them to you. Thank you very much for having me. I used to way past my time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ose. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Like I took notes, 1 page, 2 pages. Thank you so much. Erica, to answer your question, second and third stages are management and preservation. So management of wealth and preservation of wealth. So thank you so much. I don't want to add anything.
No, I'm good. I'll take questions now.
So thank you so much, everyone. Like I kept reminding us to ask questions in the chat, but if you want to, I think we have like 5 minutes to spare. If you want to voice out your questions, I still want to answer. So please do, so that we can wrap up. I would like to take your questions. Ozioma said to gain practical wisdom about money management as a single and in marriage. I said to learn about financial literacy. And Olabisi said to learn financial planning in marriage. So if Ozioma and Olabisi are still here, can you let us know were expectations met? My expectations were met. There are so many things I wrote down. My expectations were met. I can say that. Thank you so much. Ozioma and Olabisi, if you are still here, then please let's know that. Yes, we will take a minute to celebrate. We will take a minute to celebrate Aya. But I just wanted us to get our expectations met. Let me ask us, for those of us that came into the session with something in our mind, you wanted to learn something, maybe you knew something before, you wanted to know more. Maybe you wanted, someone mentioned, I think it was Z that mentioned, oh, there's a lot to unlearn and relearn. So just let Ion know, like as a good student, let your teacher know that, okay, thank you, ma. We learned X, Y, Z. Let's just type it, and then we'll all give Ayo a resounding round of applause, because she was very fantastic. She was relatable, all the Yoruba interjections. At some point, I would laugh, like, okay, like it was really good. And she was really down to earth. She was not, oh, she was really that, okay, I know I am a financial analyst though, but I am like one of, like I can come down to your level. So let's share our lessons, so that my dad teaches on the school. And at the end of every session, he will say, maybe not every session, most sessions, he'll say, okay, what did you learn? To him, it gives the teacher positive feedback. So, okay, I didn't just waste. For Ayo, it's been 1 hour, 30, almost 1 hour 15-ish minutes. So I didn't just waste time trying my beautiful teeth because I have nice teeth. So let's just, if you can, just type one thing that you learned, one thing you're taking away, one thing you unlearned from this session, so that Ayo knows that, okay, I actually, like, virtue left me, and the virtue did not just go to the floor, it actually went into someone else. I'm going to type, my lessons were many. I don't know which one to type, but let me try. So yes, everybody, please type your lessons. Esther said she learned about money mindset. I trust Esther. In 2 days' time, we'll see money, marriage building network. Wherever I am, no, what was that? Wherever I am, I will thrive. Don't worry, we are seeing that poster coming up soon. Olakunle said, thank you for helping out with financial knowledge we get directly and indirectly from our parents and people we associate with. Thank you for the learning on savings and finally on investment. I really hope to do this now. For Kesta, it was let me still emergency savings. Kirsten learned about emergency savings. For Baba Tokwe, he learned that financial goal is not a prayer point. Financial goal is not a prayer point. I did learn that you need to take responsibility. So it's not your parents' fault. And I was going to ask a question. So from the example you gave about the woman whose mom was telling her that she should save the money instead of giving it to her husband, if that relationship doesn't progress, for instance, if they have problems, can we say that it's not the mother's fault? Because it's clearly her fault. She's telling her daughter bad things, like she's teaching her daughter negative things.
Yes, I can say the mother has a bit of fault, but the truth is, you are the pilot of your own life. I mean, you're about to start your own family. Your mom has a family and she has gone apart. So there should be like a boundary. I mean, I know a lot of people are close with their parents. They have those very close bond with their mothers and all. But however, your mom is not going to be the one. It's a family something. You should be able to, there are some decisions you should be able to make for yourself. There are some decisions. So even if you feel like your mom would not be happy with it, why not just do it? I mean, even if the guy dupes you the money, at least you know it was a decision to make. You should and mistakes can happen. Just own your decisions and should just own it. Own it. That's just it. So yeah, I think that case, it's a decision to make, not a mom's.
Like we need to own it. Okay, some more lessons. Phoebe learned about abundance, optimistic and not pessimistic. She learned to get rid of the lack mindset and have an abundance mindset. Hassan Oluyori Babajide, I learned that trying to be too cheap, cutting costs is sometimes expensive. Esther is just reiterating, take responsibility, own your decision. So
I
now
think someone is raising his hand, or is it me?
I can't see. Let's see. Yes.
Josh Babatokwe.
Josh Babatokwe, your hand is up. You have like less than minutes, so go ahead. Go for it.
All right. Good evening. Last year about investment, I wanted to invest, but I didn't have a lot of cash or a lot of funds, basically. So he said that before I can come back to him and then show me one or two investments to make, I need to save up to $1 million. So I want to know, is there like, yeah, because I asked him like, what different investments can I make that I don't have to spend much, considering the salary, expenses here and there, and what is left after, my savings, and then what is left. So I wanted to know, but you said until I have up to 1 million, which is probably going to take me some time. And I already said time frame for that to achieve that. But I just want to learn here. Are there like different investments that one can make that you don't need up to 1 million naira to start, that are legit? Because I fell into MMM too. So.
As you said,
Okay.
this guy just came to my mind. Legit singing. I don't know who says that. Sorry, just that guy.
Okay, so Mr. Josh. Okay, so you don't need 1 million naira to start investment. However, like I said, when someone comes to me and tell me they want to invest, it starts with what's even your investment goal? What do you intend to achieve with your investments? That's what's going to determine. Because trust me, with 5,000 naira, you can start investments. You can own a part of Tesla with 5,000 naira. Even if you might not be able to, 5,000 naira will not be able to buy 1 unit, but you can buy probably 0.00 something units, which it means it's still extra money, because the main aim of investment is to get returns over time. So you do not need, if he's talking about you needing 1 million naira to invest, it probably means you want to invest in something probably he wants you to, because even 1 million naira cannot buy, okay, probably in some parts of Nigeria, 1 million naira can buy a property or a plot of land. But in the commercial areas like Lagos and Abuja, where I am now, 1 million naira would not even pay, 1 million naira will not get you a 1-bedroom apartment, rather talk less of buying a plot of land. So trust me, you can start investing with anything you have. 5,000 naira, 20,000 naira, 100,000 naira. You could start with buying stock. You could buy stocks worth 20,000 naira and watch it grow. You could actually invest in that. I mentioned REIF or REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust, meaning a group of people pool funds together. It's usually managed by a trust fund manager or like an hedge fund company or something. Pool funds together to purchase a particular property. And then when the property is being sold, or when interest or whatever happens on the property, the proceeds is splitted amongst all investors. You could invest in mutual fund. Mutual funds too is almost the same thing. So there are a whole lot of things. That you can actually invest in that is not as high as 1 million naira. I do not know what kind of investments this person is talking about that will be needing 1 million naira. You can invest with 50 million naira. I consult for a real estate company, and the list of their property is 50 million naira, which is like a form of investment. So it depends on the kind of investments you're doing. So if you're meeting somebody for investments, you need to ask questions. If there's one thing I tell people, don't get tired of asking questions. It is your money. You have every right to ask the most stupidest, if there's a thing like that, the stupidest question the question might look very stupid, but ask nevertheless, because it is your money. You have every right to know what it is being used for, or whatever anybody is using it to do. So investments can be with any amount. You can invest with as low as 5,000 naira. We have a lot of investment apps that are legit because they are all CBN approved. I've done my research and I can tell you they are all CBN approved. You can download Bamboo, you can download Trove, do your verification, do your KIC and KYC, and begin investments. Just buy bits and bits of different stock and watch them grow. Watch, some of them are dividend, they pay you dividend yearly. The people who bought MTN shares, they are cashing out. People who bought the shares, they are paying, they get dividend. And how much was MTN sold their shares for 100 and something naira per unit? Meaning with 10,000 naira, you could have bought, that's 100 units or 1,000 units. I don't know what the calculation is. So trust me, you can invest with as low as 5,000 naira. And you can also invest with as high as $1 billion, depending on how much you have. So I hope I answered the question, Mr. Josh.
Yeah. Yes, I will answer on Josh's behalf. Yes, you did. And Josh has asked for your social media handles. So please, if you can share your social media handles.
Okay, so that we can... I am Mide Akinshola on all platforms. I am Mide.
Okay. Okay. So let me try Ayo. Okay, so everyone, let's give Ayo a resounding handover. Resounding, I don't know the word to use. Round of applause. Resounding round of
Sorry,
applause.
I want to turn off my video, but Nepa has decided to show me
No,
Shege
no,
this
no,
evening.
you have to understand. All of us are living in Nigeria together. So everybody just clap for Ayo. You can put a clapping emoji in the chat. Let's just tell Ayo that Ayo, we really, really appreciate your time. We know that if we wanted to pay you as much as you are worth, we might not be able to. But thank you so much for coming on our platform. Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much for just being so pleasant. You were very, we could see that you were very, you told questions that we need, that we have to ask. No question is silly. So thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very
I
welcome.
hope I'm supposed to do a quick summary of the session. Let me just so today we learned about financial goals. I learned to break down my goals. I was telling myself I need to go and rearrange my goals because they look like a lofty dream. So I need to know that it's not a prayer point. I need to go and rearrange my goals, be specific, break down my goals, long-term goals, short-term goals, mid-term goals. Know that prayer points are not financial goals are not prayer points, and then they are not also not static. So my goals now will change maybe when I have one kid, when I have two kids, just being flexible and fluid, having an abundance mindset, knowing that there's enough to go around. My friend used to say that there's enough room in the sky for all the birds to fly. So just having that mindset that wherever I am, I will thrive. Then also taking taking responsibility, having a financial plan, and yes, savings and investment. I want to recommend some books for us. I did mention one, The Psychology of Money. So if you can, I haven't read it yet. If you want to know more about finances, you can grab a copy. I read The Richest Man in Babylon many years ago, and so it's really good. So that will help you know, okay, what percentage of your income should you save? How should you go about it? Then Smart Money Woman by Aracet Ugu is also really good. So you can pick up those books in your spare time and then just build your knowledge on finance. Remember the quote we started with at the beginning of the session by Mr. David, I can't remember his last name. So for marriages that have problems with finances, not necessarily the lack of money that is the problem, it's just not having enough information, enough knowledge. And today, Ayo has graciously given us knowledge as individuals. Then tomorrow, we'll meet again at 6 p.m. and then we will learn how to handle. I was too fast. Oh, I'll type out the names. Tomorrow we'll learn how to handle finances in marriage. So today, there's this thing that they say, if you come in, like a good marriage is made up of like two people that are willing, two good people coming together. So if one person is, then you know that there'll be problems. It's not like we help ourselves in our strengths and weaknesses, but it has to be like two good heads. They say two good heads is better than one. So today we've learned, okay, how to make your head a good head. And then tomorrow we are going to learn, okay, when we now come together, two good heads coming together, how can we really make our marriage work and not let finance be a problem? So Esther Sholari will be taking us tomorrow on managing finance in marriage. And now I'd like to invite us all to Marriage Body Network. If you are here and you're not part of Marriage Body Network, I'm not even saying it because I'm a part of the group. Like I use my words, I pick my words very carefully. You are missing. We have very enlightening conversations. You can ask questions anonymously. You can ask questions. And then, for instance, yesterday someone asked, how do you handle saying goodbyes? We know, like Ayo was saying, most people have jackpot. Many years ago, it used to be people abroad that were lonely. But now it's people in Nigeria that are lonely because most of our friends and families have traveled. So yesterday someone asked, how do you handle like saying goodbye? So just have really warm questions, warm conversations, and it's like a community, the family. Someone was saying that she has spent more time on Marriage Body Network than she has in Facebook. Just to tell you how much of an impact it has had. So if you're not part of the family yet, you're very welcome to join us. And yes, with this, we come to the end. Thank you so much, Esther, for sharing the names of the books. The person who wrote Richest Man in Babylon is George Clason, and Aracet Ugu wrote The Smart Money Woman. So if you have time, you can check out those books, and it will really help you. Let you know how much of what percentage of your earning you should be saving, how you should build towards maybe how much you should save for rent, how much you should save for money for food, how much you should save to buy a fancy bag, because we want to be financially literate, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have nice things. Yeah, you can check out these extra resources for more information. yes, we have now come to the end of the first session of Married and Money. It was really enlightening. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Go to church and come early. Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, the meeting is over. You can go home now.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for having me.
Bye, Ayo.
Bye.
Bye, Ayo. Thank you. Thank you,
Bye, Ma.
everybody. See you
All right.
tomorrow.